What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky! I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. I've got a good one. This is a longer clip, so I'm making it a premiere. Let's have some fun in the chat. All right. This defendant has a lot of stories, a lot of excuses. Some of them could be right, some of them could be wrong. Judge Meineke, on the other hand, he checks the receipts. He goes back to past court hearings by way of his YouTube channel and checks if what the defendant's saying is correct. This is a fun hearing, an interesting hearing, a weird hearing, everything put together. I hope you enjoy it. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Mr. Everett? Mr. Everett,
Yes, sir.
this is the judge. It's my understanding that there are some issues related to payments.
My thing is, I don't know why I'm paying because I did everything.
You paid off all
And I
kinds of
also
costs?
went to jail when I was told that I could just get the tether put on, and then they locked me up for the night.
So,
My whole
Mr.
thing
Everett,
was to never do day in jail.
so Mr. Everett, I want to make sure that we're on the same page. I saw you in May, all right? And in May of this year, now mind you, I had adjourned a violation so many times for you. I had adjourned the violation over and over and over again. And I remember when I saw you in March, I said, hey, just get yourself in compliance and I'll consider community service in lieu of jail. But we can never put it together. And I still, Mr. Everett, even though we had all those violations, I still gave you work release. Do you remember that? I gave you work release. So even though the 60 days in jail, I didn't sit you for 60 days. I gave you a chance to go to work and not lose your job. Remember that?
Okay, now I'm listening, but listen, my violations, the violation that you might be inquiring about or talking about was a defective device that stated that I blew alcohol, which I do not drink, and then also uh uh any other I don't even know the other violation, but what I'm saying is that device could have made me, go to jail. Then that's to me that's the only violation that could have got me in trouble because it was my idea to get the device because I was late one of the meetings to go drop. So I depended on that device, and see, I don't want that device to be, part of you speaking on a violation that I could have had because that device, was faulty. You ordered me to return to the probation officer. You refused to take it, and then I was back going to the actual place, and then after that, it looks like I violated again because it says that I smoked marijuana, and you guys got a specimen from that place, and there's no way I get you got a specimen from that place. So my thing is, hey, thanks a lot. I'm getting dropped off from work. Excuse me. Thank y'all. Excuse me. I'm getting dropped off from work. So I'm walking and everything. I'm sorry. Okay. Boss has dropped me off. Okay, I gotta walk across 8 miles. Okay, but sir, my thing is, I thought I was doing everything in compliance. I thought I was like trying to prove that, hey, I was thinking that the law was going to see like, hey, this guy is not a violent person. He's not a drinker or nothing like that. And then I never knew what time when I was going to get off this whole thing until there was a huddle about get on a device. I mean, to go on the tether. So I was all happy up and everything. And so my whole thing, this whole case was to never do one day in jail. So I goes up to OCJ to get the device put on me. They made me stay in jail. It cost me and then now my sister that passed away, It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And like I said, like I told the young lady before, that the best thing I get out of this is that I went to therapy, because the therapy, like I told you before, therapy is good for everybody. I had lost my pops and all that. Now I lost my sister, one of my sisters. But I don't see what I don't know what was I trying to prove to the court, and I don't know what any money or time will prove to the court. You know, I don't paid a whole bunch of money and a whole bunch of time to leave from jobs and go back to court and come back to the job. And by me being off this whole thing for some months, and then I get the little bill, I don't understand it.
Well, so, Mr. Everett, when you were sentenced to a particular set of fines and costs, okay?
Okay,
And,
but what I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
so you're sentenced to a particular amount of fines and costs, okay? And, you know, when you didn't complete probation, you still had to pay those fines and costs, just like anybody
Okay.
else. Now,
Okay, but listen.
hang on, Mr. Everett.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Now,
It's
if
my
I
life, but hang on.
if I had ordered you to do max jail, so the 93 days, and I hadn't given you work release, then the court would consider, you know, waiving a portion of the fines and costs because of the max jail sentence. But I didn't do that. And so my question to you is, help me understand, because the last time you and I talked, even though you were not in compliance, I ordered work release, and I let you pick the day that you were to turn yourself in. So I'm trying to figure out how they kept you overnight.
Okay, now I see. Thank you for acknowledging that was wrong on their part. Now see, okay, at least you acknowledge that. My thing is, saying that you saved me from jail
What
time.
time did you show up? What time did you show up to turn yourself in?
Even on that, and then plus it sounds terrible turning myself in, because I didn't do a crime. I never had a chance to speak of whatever crime I was getting accused of. Okay, so the time part, and I'm glad you brought that up. The time was even stated to me, and I have proof of that. For the record, I have proof of that the probation officer gave a time, but on the wrong date. Okay. And so when I shows up on the proper time, I shows up on the proper day that it said on my email, but it said that I was there at the wrong time. So therefore I had to get locked up. There was big miscommunication from this case the whole time. But that last time that I went to jail because of the big communication for a day. So I had to so I was actually thankful from when you did say I get on the probation thing. I mean the work tether thing, but it was worse than the whole 3 years of being on the whole thing. Because my whole reason to get on the first device was to not do a day in jail. So I was happy-go-lucky and took myself to jail. That is embarrassing.
So what time, Mr. Everett, what time did you turn yourself in? Because I'm looking at a communication from the jail that says, I'm just going to read this to you, and you can tell me. They said, they sent an email to your probation.
It's like
they sent an email to your probation officer. It says, Mr. Everett called and stated that his probation officer Mario is having his judgment of sentence changed so he can turn himself in on Tuesday, June 4th at 8:30.
And which was that Tuesday was the 3rd. See what I'm saying? The time, which I kind of forgot, but the 3rd was not a Tuesday. You see what I'm saying? You get it? It was something to that matter. Now see, if I could sit down and dig up my paperwork, that's what confused things. And then it also did not have a specific time. And I also talked to Mr. Mario. He said just after work or before work, just get down there. So what I did was that morning, I made sure I got all my tickets and everything paid before I go up there. I'm not no fool. And I paid that off. And I still went to work because I could, if I'd have known that, I'd have just went straight early in the morning up there to get the device on. So what I did was paid my tickets off. I went to work, and in the middle of the day, or something like that. I said, well, let me catch the bus up to OCJ. And when I got there, well, I ended up didn't have to end up catching the bus because my wife, the one who started it all, took me up there. Okay. And they locked me up because they said that the people who does the teller thing is not there. So they made me stay the night. That's what happened. Now the third and the fourth, the confusion was that on the email it said Tuesday or whatever day, but it was conflicting because the date of the fourth or third that it was supposed to be on, it wasn't the day of.
Okay, hold on 1 second for me, Mr. Everett. Did I get Mr. Collins back? Real quick, Mr. Everett, bear with me.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Collins, I appreciate you logging back in. I'm good with the probation asked me if I could allow you some extra time to make the payments, that you wanted to make a payment on the 1st and the 8th. I've authorized that. So you're good to make those delayed payments.
Thank you. I will make that.
All right, but you're good for today, and I appreciate you hanging in there, and take care of yourself, sir. And just do me a favor, if Friday comes up and you are jammed or some issue comes up with you on the 1st or the 8th, just call us. And if I have to bump it a week or so, I can do that if you call me in advance.
Just okay. Can I say this too? One thing. So
Sure.
I get paid Friday, but what if I get paid sometimes late Friday? So what if it's that?
Then why don't we so let's not even play with that. Why don't we just say you pay
Monday.
200 by Monday, the 4th,
Okay.
rather than Friday. Pay on Monday, and the 11th is a holiday, so the next payment on the 18th.
Okay, we can do that.
So you pay pay on 11/4, 200, and 11/18, 270.
Got it.
All right. Good luck.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right, Mr. Everett. Now I'm curious.
All right. This is what Judge Meinecke's awesome. He really is. He runs a lot of specialty type court I don't know, specialty type courts. Let's just say it that way. He does sobriety court. He does Operation Drive. He is the judge that you want when you're stuck. He really is. With minor situations like that's all he handles. But yeah, he's awesome.
Okay, so I basically I've gone back. So I want to make sure I believe in accuracy, and so I want to make sure. I went back to our hearing on May 15th. This is the last time you and I talked. So let's see. I haven't watched this yet, so we can watch it together. So let's see if I can pull this up. Share the screen.
Good morning, Your Honor. Our Honor, we have police department.
Stephen Lynch on behalf of the defendant. Mr. Everett, state your name. All right, today's date, time set for an adjourned violation. Mr. Murata?
Yes, Your Honor.
Violation. I didn't violate.
Minutes of use and consumption of marijuana on the week of March 25th through March 29th. Mr. Edward Wilson has also tested positive for marijuana on April 1st, April 5th, and May the 3rd. Regarding outpatient counseling, it does appear that there is some traction with outpatient counseling where where UD was actually down for a little bit, and now he's kind of back enrolled with UD Mercy, and it looks like he is attending sessions, but I haven't received proof of it as of yet. I have been in communication with Ms. Bell, so we do have that. And then as far as there were tests as directed.
Okay, I remember that day.
23rd, 28th.
I do remember that day.
22nd. Okay.
Okay, but who gave a specimen to you guys about marijuana? No one. And on that device, it made me look like I should be violated because that device is defective. I do not drink, so that makes me look terrible on paper.
Mr. Everett.
Yes.
These were the allegations, and all I want to do is, since at that time, you would have the best information as to whether or not you used and were in violation. So like that was 5 months ago. So let's hear what you 5 months ago had to say about it.
All right, this is awesome. This is YouTube Inception right here. You're watching YouTube inside of YouTube inside of YouTube because you're watching my channel while watching Judge Meineke while Judge Meineke is watching Judge Meineke. This is kind of hilarious, but good on the judge for like he's checking his receipts. It's like, nope, this is what you said. We're going to check exactly to see what happened. This is awesome.
I know between that time, there has been issues related to some leaves of absences of work, as well as a bike situation as well.
Judge, I've had a chance to discuss the matter with my client. He'll admit that he tested positive. There are some circumstances I'd like to explain after the plea. He admits that he missed some tests. He believes at least 2. There were some others where he was taking a bus to the testing facility and getting there after they closed. But he'll admit that he missed at least 2. And yes, he is back. He's in counseling. His first session is this Friday. So that he is signed up.
Okay. Mr. Everett, please raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes. All right. Right now, Mr. Everett, you have the absolute right to a probation violation hearing. At that hearing, it would have to be established by a preponderance of the evidence, not beyond a reasonable doubt, but by a preponderance of the evidence that you violated your probation. Only then would I proceed to sentencing. By pleading guilty, there's no hearing. You go directly to sentencing. Do you understand that? Yes. Anybody promise you or threaten you in any way? Yes. It's your own choice to do this. Yes. Since I saw you last on March 6th, is it true that you tested positive for marijuana because you consumed marijuana?
Yes, I did. Yeah, we talked about this feature, and I was.
Okay. Satisfied?
Yes.
That you have satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and accurate. I'll accept the same recommendations.
Probation this time, Your Honor, is recommending to serve 5 days in the Oakland County Jail forthwith, suspend the remaining 85 days in the Oakland County Jail, serve additional 20 hours of community service work while re-engaging with counseling, which I do. It does sound like Mr. Everett has done so at this time, and to continue probation as previously approved.
Judge, my client indicated to me his father passed on January 16th of this year, so he's been struggling with that. And because of that, he was taking the edibles to help him sleep. He's also going through a divorce and recently separated from not only his wife, but his children. There's been a lot of emotional phone calls at night. That's causing him some of the stress. He's gainfully employed at IVP. He's getting back into school. He starts June 11th at CTU. He's continuing his education. So there's a lot of positives going on. And he is re-enrolled in counseling. I just ask that you continue probation at this point.
We've never been in compliance. I'd like to think, pretty patient with Mr. Everett. We've had conversations about marijuana before. If it is a medical type issue, then there's a way to handle that the right way while on probation. And so I guess that's my frustration is only that. Okay.
Did we approach very
Go ahead.
May we pass the matter or? do you wanna
Why
just-
don't you just talk to him for a second?
They process you and then they send you money. That's how the program starts. You can't get special accommodations. But he, the board now?
No,
Okay. You want to? So we can take to the board this year.
Oh, yeah, good.
Okay, I'll explain.
Okay.
I think we're ready to go.
okay. All right, anything else before this court closes sentence?
Judge, based on our conversation. Judge, I ask court to consider more than 60 days on a work release terminate his probation.
Is there anything you'd like to say before this court closes sentence?
Well, I would like to say, throughout this whole thing, I've learned a lot about myself. It's mainly about, I keep stuff inside. Prospect, counseling that I went to, those guys, you know, that was before you guys, but he was sick at the time. That helped him. And I'm totally alone, no mom, no dad. All I got is my kids, and she's keeping them away. But I need that counseling, anything. I need my time. I'm building up my time besides private school. I got another job coming. And I'm working at a job. So I see myself having my degree 2026. Straight A's right now. I go back. And everyone needs counseling anyway, but I need counseling, I need time. So just keep going over. Keep going on counseling. Do what you want to do, man. I will run from you, folks, to it. It's hard, man, but the easiest thing to do is for me to, well, I try to make appointments to get to my appointments. I'm a person that hate to be late. But it's just a little hard, but right back in there. I'm on time, that's it. It just looks like I'm not. I just need my time to just keep going, and my son will cry to me all last night. All pops, you know. I don't sleep until 3 in the morning, get up at 6, go to work, come home, can't sleep till 3 in the morning every day, get up, bust every day. Even if I try to sleep, even with the effort, sometimes. I just know that the constant work for anyone, and I'm gonna go even after probation. Thank you, because I have never known that, because I know people come to me for. Recognize, even when I was that hard, I stopped drinking before this case. A year and a half before this case. So I'm being tested alcohol this time. I feel like I know I passed that plan cards. Even though they done with this, I just need counseling, and I won't.
So, Mr. Everett, I think you've hit on a chord there, a real truth that is one of the great challenges, I think, for humanity is too many people in this world would rather continue to try to do the same thing over and over again without positive results, rather than just ask for help. Now, Mr. Everett, I'd like to think that Mr. Moran and myself, that we try to see that there's more to you than the violations, than the case that brought you here. And so I hope that you at least got that feeling, that sense that, you know, we saw you as, you know, a person with, you know, that there's something here, you know, that there's a real, authentic, raw reality that you have to live that I, you know, obviously that I only have just the tip of the iceberg as to what you have to deal with. But the counseling is crucial.
Yes.
I don't want you standing in front of another judge ever again. Yeah, this didn't end end exactly the way that we wanted, but that doesn't mean that there can't be a happy ending to the story. There absolutely can be. You complete this work release program, then you don't have to go to jail. You can put this behind you, and most importantly, coming out of this, what's the thing that you learned the most coming out of this is exactly what you just told me. That in order for you to be healthy and safe, you need to be in counseling.
Yes.
And that's not a sign of weakness. Being without it keeps you weak.
Man, that made me
Keeps you a
look
lesser
like,
version of you.
I don't even remember this part.
So stop living that life.
I don't even remember that part.
All right, it's the order of this court that he be discharged
Ain't
from
nobody
probation
tell me
without
how to
improvement.
release part even
It's 60 days jail.
ain't nobody
with
tell me how to
incorrect
work
make him work
part
release
off.
eligible. He can turn himself in.
Hold on, Mr. Everett.
You'll pick a date with him. That will give you a chance to get you the documentation.
Dude is trying to interrupt his own court hearing. Stop interrupting the interruptions while I'm interrupting. Thought I'd make a little joke there. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I find this very fascinating.
For work release isn't like it used to be years ago where you go to work and then come back and spend the night in jail. It's actually like a virtual tether. So you have to go to work and you have to go home, which probably is exactly where you need to be right now anyway. So I will make it a condition of his work release though that he continues on the UD counseling, which he could do whether he's on probation or not, right?
Yes.
Okay. So continue UD counseling. So as long as you follow their rules and continue your counseling, then you won't have to go to jail, Mr. Everett. All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much,
The
guys.
only thing, Your Honor, I would, I guess, just as a piece of advice, there is a bench warrant out of 43rd District Court, maybe to clear that prior to his term in date.
You'll want to do that for sure. Which court was that out of?
Hazel Park.
Hazel Park. So basically, get with Mr. Everett. Mr. Everett, you want to deal with Hazel Park. Once you've dealt with that, because if you don't, they'll hold you.
Yeah.
All right, that you'll walk in and they'll look and they'll see that warrant and they won't give you work release, they'll just hold you.
Okay.
So I can delay his turn-in date for a couple of weeks, but you need to deal with that right away, okay?
I can play this one.
All right, I'll note that you, Mr. Everett, to select turn-in date with Mr. Morano. All right, good luck, Mr. Everett.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. The receipts were checked. What do you guys think? Was he telling the truth? He's still full of stories. Yeah. This guy's likable though, and he's got the right judge. How do you guys think it's going to turn out? Right now, in the comments section, how do you think it's going to turn out? Is he going to be ordered to jail? What do you guys think?
Okay. So, Mr. Everett, so I allowed you, so the violation was based on positive marijuana screens. That's what the violation was, which you acknowledged. You acknowledged using marijuana. We had lots of violations. I still didn't put you in jail, instead giving you the work release. I don't know. I wasn't there when you turned yourself in. I don't know what time you turned yourself in. I never wanted you to spend any time in jail. I wanted you to get up there and get out and get for work release. I think I made that pretty clear. Now, what we listened to that whole thing, at no point in time did I say your financial obligations were discharged. So the financial obligations are still present. Now, I have a few questions for you, which may cause me to peel back or reduce some of these fines and costs. So my first question to you, Mr. Everett, is while you were on work release, did you keep going to counseling?
I sure did, and then I sure did, and I also still would like to go again because the lady, her name is Regina Bell. I remember her name because that's a famous person. She called, reached back out to me, but I told her I will be going back to U of D to be seeing her. You know, because I just got me a car, just got my license, well, so I got my permit, got me a car. Told her I will be going back there. Yes, and that was last month. And I do see a value of having therapy. Yes.
So, I just wanted you to, when you came in, I had a note from my staff that said that, you said that the court lied to you, the attorney didn't represent you well, you were very angry, and I did not remember you and I parting in that kind of fashion. I remember us I remember us having a much more positive interaction. I let you show up weeks later for the work release, and you successfully completed the work release. So
Yeah. But I felt like for a long time though, as far as representation, the attorneys, I wanted to really elaborate more about how I want to come into the courtroom. And it's just that last one, he said, well, oh, we're not gonna do a rehash. I just felt like when he said that statement, I just felt like, well, what's about to happen now? If I can't explain, because it's been multiple attorneys that's been sent my way on this case. And that first lady, she was awesome and she understood and everything and listened. But I had multiple attorneys, court-appointed attorneys on this case. But that last one, he said, well, it seemed like he didn't want to hear me out. So once we went into the courtroom, you guys did a huddle and came back with the little deal of getting on a work release because before then I didn't even know when I could get off at all for this 3 years. I didn't know when I could get off. So when he came back, he said, oh, it's a good deal, and he even said, hey, I'm gonna explain it to you later how it goes. No one explained it to me. And then I was just happy to get on it, and it just feels like I done took myself to jail, and that's really what it was. I mean, because I was never hiding from the court, was never not trying to be not in non-compliance from the court. I respect you as a judge, everything. You are awesome. It's just lack of communication or tampering with communication, something because it's been bold dates, just like the date, like I'm saying, the Mr. Mario, he seemed awesome at first, but then again, I started noticing faults about him, about times and things like that, which makes me look like I violate. But this time it made me look like I violated. I went to
hang
jail.
on, real quick.
Yeah, real quick, man. Don't throw your people under the bus. Don't do that, especially if they work for the court. It's not going to work out well for you, man. You've got a good judge. Just be honest. Tell them how you feel, but don't throw people under the bus.
So, Mr. Everett, in the end, your final violation was for continued use of marijuana that had nothing to do with specimens you said you used. You heard it. You acknowledged. I said,
okay,
so
that's the mission. Okay, that's the mission. But guess what? The whole beginning of this whole thing, I was never tested or even asked about marijuana. Think about it. The whole time I was using marijuana. I always said unequivocally that I don't drink, but I was never asked, about marijuana. So of course I'm gonna tell the truth.
So
and if I'd have known, I would have stopped.
Mr. Everett. So one, we had violations where I had to increase your drug screens, and then I made a note like in January of this year, November of last year, I even said we need to get a negative marijuana screen because if we get a negative marijuana screen, I can walk back his testing. We could never get you to provide a clear screen. So, but Mr. Everett, I didn't want you sitting in jail for 60 days for marijuana use. So that's why I went forward with
it's legal. That's crazy. It's legal too. Plus, I was telling you I was gonna try. I did tell you I was trying to get my doctor's note and everything. That's in there too. I was trying to get a doctor's pass and all of that because
right. But Mr. Everett, okay, hold on. we're going back and forth, but the reality is you were ordered not to. You were in violation status a bunch of times. Even with the violation status and not ever getting it together, Mr. Marana didn't ask. If you listen, he never even asked for a jail sanction. The court was just trying to wrap this up for you in a way where I could justify closing out probation and getting you on work release so you keep your job, but also obviously not putting you in jail. And so in fact, I was so concerned about not putting you in jail.
What's the charge, sir? May I ask?
Mr. Everett,
what's the charge that can cause me to get on probation in the first place? I was accused of something first, right? Then I was not accused of something. Then
okay,
I
Mr. Everett, we're done. Mr. Everett, we're done. We're done. I've tried to have a reasonable conversation with you. I even was going to come up with a plan so that I could reduce some of these outstanding fines and costs. Mr. Everett, you won't stop interrupting me. You won't stop interrupting me.
My apologies.
Do you know how incredibly disrespectful that is when all I've done this entire time together,
I'm not trying to.
I am the only one allowed to interrupt. It's my video. I'm the only one allowed to do that. This guy just made an argument that sounded very soft-ish. Calm down, man. Calm down. Don't go down that road. You've already pled guilty. The charge is already there. Calm down.
I did not do anything this entire time other than try to keep you out of jail. And there is a final balance here, and you're disagreeing with my staff about it. And even with the disagreements that you're having with staff, I'm still trying to figure out a way to cut your costs, and you still want to fight with me about something that's already been resolved.
This is just how I talk, sir. See, I'm not even drunk or high now. This is kind of how I talk, and it's like my freedom, my life. And I thought that, and then try to understand how I feel. I thought after I finished this program that I wouldn't have to even go to another court. That's just how I'm feeling right now. That's all. And please, just erase that part, please, if you can out your mind. You are a great judge and everything, and you are helping. It's just that. Just imagine how I felt that I felt I was off the tether and I'm doing fine, getting everything together, and then this came. That's just all I'm saying. This is a little frustration.
Can you let me talk without interruption, so you can actually hear what my plan is or what idea that I have without cutting me off? Can you do that for me, Mr. Everett?
Yes, sir. Watch.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a couple questions. So when's the last time you were in counseling?
The last time was my last scheduled date. Now, see, I don't remember the date, but my last time was my last scheduled date that I was supposed to be there, and they was changing to another person.
So when you completed the tether program on July 22nd, okay, while you were on the work release tether, were you in counseling at that time, or did you continue to go after that?
I'm trying to remember. Let me see. Let me try to remember. Did I go after the tether? No, because the ladies they were switching therapists, and then I said that I would continue later. I didn't after the tether though.
Okay, so Mr. Everett, you have a permit right now. Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to do your road test?
Yes, I do. Look, here's my car too. It's in the driveway. I just got my car and everything. But my car, yes, I have my road. Yes, I'm not driving.
Whoa. When do you plan on having your road test done?
Next week. Or
okay, because Mr. Everett, you've had your permit since May, and your permit expires, so you'd have to take the written test all over again if you don't get your license by November 20th. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I must have need to read it. Let me read it. Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
Trust me, I'm right on this one.
Oh, right. You're right on it. Right. Okay. Yes, just even like with that, I'll take my time. I'll do things the right way. I don't even drive it right in the driveway. I just got dropped off from my boss from work. And I'm going to get my insurance tomorrow. Hopefully, by Thursday or Friday, I'll be able to drive. But definitely
So,
next
Mr.
week, I
Everett,
have my license. Yes, sir.
Mr. Everett, do you still know how to get connected with UAD?
Yes,
Did you like your time at UAD?
I did. I really did.
Okay. So you owe this court $1,600. I'm going to set this for a show cause hearing in 3 weeks on November 19th. This is yet another offer that I'm giving you, which all I want to see, Mr. Everett, is you making healthy choices and moving forward with your life.
Yes,
If
sir.
in the next 3 weeks you call and try to set up an appointment with UAD, all right?
Yes.
All right, and you get a license.
Yes,
If
sir.
you do those 2 things, Mr. Everett, those 2 things, which you need to do anyway, if
Yes,
you do
sir.
those 2 things, I will waive $1,600 that you owe this court.
Awesome, sir. You're blessed. Yes, sir. I will do that. I will
So,
do
Mr.
that.
Everett, so you said a lot today, okay? What I need is less talking and more doing. So I'm
That's
giving
right.
you 3 weeks. You can save yourself benefits you. Get
That's
set up
right.
with counseling and go get your license. And the
Thank you
reason
very
that I'm
much.
setting it for the 19th is because if you don't get it done by the 19th, your permit expires the next day.
Okay. Okay.
So log in and see me.
Judge, good job, Judge. I mean, he's way too patient for this guy. With the stories, the amount of time he took up, there's a lot going on with this case. But we've got a follow-up coming in a couple days. It's Tuesday. The 19th is Tuesday, I believe. Let's go. I like a good follow-up. Let's see if this guy did what he was supposed to do. Marking it on my calendar now to make sure that we have the follow-up. All right, you guys are awesome. That's the end of this clip. There's only about 10 seconds left, so when I hit play, it's going to end out. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. If you didn't like it, feel free to hit the dislike button. Everything matters. So, yeah, let's go. That's it. Until next time, bye.
On the 19th, no excuses. You
That's
know
right.
who to call. You know what to do. This is simple.
That's
Get it
right.
done.
Hey, that's right. You're the best, man. I think I told you before, but you're the best.
I'll see you back here in 3 weeks. Get it done.
All right. Yes, sir. You have a great one. Happy Halloween, everything to you and the family.
Take care.
All right. Take care.